Hello everyone and welcome to my another session video for the Nios English code number 202 chapter number 5 A Tiger Comes to Town part 1 because 6 is part 2. So chapter 5 we are going to go here. It's a story about the tiger. So we're just going to read it and see how it is. When I entered the market road, people ran for their lives at the sight of me. I passed through the shutters. I passed through Shutters were pulled down and people hid themselves in drains, on trees, and behind pillars. The population was melting out of sight. At the circus, I had no chance to study human beings. They had sat in their seats peacefully while I cowered before Captain's whip. I got a totally wrong idea of human beings at that angle. I had thought that they are strong and fearless, but now I found them running from me like a herd of deer, although I had no intention of attacking them. When I paused in the front of a tailor's shop, he abandoned his machine and shut himself in a cupboard, wailing, "Alas, I'm undone. Won't someone shoot that tiger?" As a prisoner between two constables got his chance to escape when the constables fled, abandoning him with his handcuffs, I tore a horse from his and jetka and enjoyed the sight of a passenger spilling out of it and running for their lives. Sheer hopelessness seemed to have seized the townspeople. They withdrew into their homes and even there remained nervous. All doors and windows everywhere were shut, bolted, unsealed. Some even thought that I was like some extraordinary creature who might pass through the walls and lie in wait on the roof or on in a base or in the basement. Why should an ordinary simple tiger have any interest in them, either to destroy or to safeguard? I rested for the moment at the door of restaurant. The coffee drinkers and tiffin eaters sat still at their tables, uttering low moans on seeing me. I wanted to assure them, "Don't fear. I'm not out to trouble you. Eat your tiffin in peace. Don't mind me. You nearest to me, hugging the cash box. You are a coward, afraid even to breathe. Go on, count the cash if that's what you want. I just want to watch, that's all. If my tail trails down to the street, if I'm blocking your threshold, it is because I'm 11 feet tip to tail. I can't help it. I'm not out to kill. I'm too full. I found a green pasture full of food on my way. I won't need any food for several days to come. I won't attack until I feel hungry again. Tigers attack only when they feel hungry, unlike human beings who kill one another without purpose or hunger. To the great delight of children, schools were being hurriedly closed. Children of all ages and sizes were running helter-skelter, screaming joyously. "No school, no school, tiger, tiger." They were shouting and laughing and even enjoyed being scared. I followed them to their school gate while they ran up and shut themselves in the school hall. I climbed up to the steps of the school, saw an open door at the far end of a veranda, and walked in. It happened to be in the headmaster's room. I noticed a very dignified man jumping on his table and heaving himself up into the attic. I walked in and flung myself on the cool floor, having a special liking for cool stone floors, with my head under the large desk. I was in no mood to bother about anything. All I wanted was a little moment of sleep. While I slept, I had been properly locked up and was being watched. After I woke up, I heard a teacher saying, "Now that this brute is safely locked up, we must decide." At this moment, my master pushed his way through the crowds and scolded, "Never use the words beast or brute. They are ugly words coined by man in his arrogance. The human being thinks all the creatures are beasts. Awful word. Is this the time to discuss problems of vocabulary?" "Why not?" retorted my master, at which they looked extremely upset and angry. Someone said, "What a reckless man you are! Who are you? You are asking a profound question. I have no idea who am I. All my life I have been trying to find the answer. Are you sure you know who you are?" So this was the story written by R.K. Narayan, and the part 2 will be in chapter number 6. So what do is that you basically learn the index question, which is 5.1, and then you will do that one. Similarly, you will complete with in-text question 5.2. No need to, you need to skip all this thing. Learning new words 5.1, if you want you can do it, if not, no. But it is just like as black as coal, as beautiful as rose. These are some similes. So like you can make a reasonable comparison with something like as cool as cucumber, as cold as ice. So there's a difference between cool and cold. Okay, so basically that sense, as strong as a lion. So all this thing, so these are some metaphors, some like this one similes. You need to just do similes, and at the same time you use some of these words and make a fill in the blank. It's just a grammatical practice for you, but nothing coming in the main exam, because it all depends on how you write your essay. We are just trying to build up a hang of a language, which is the English language in you, so that you can give your 100% in your story. Now, in test question 5.2, you already know about this thing. And then learning new words, which is this one, that is also going common sense. You can just go through these new words and write that. Antonyms, which is nothing but opposite. So you basically, you make a opposite of this thing and join up with each other. And there's a quiz crossword, again on the basis of opposite. So you have these words, you need to find its opposite and write it in the crosswords. So just a nice grammatical method of solving using the help of some games. And then let us learn main grammar, which is past perfect tense. And I already taught you in the previous lessons, a past perfect means the third form of past. Like regular verbs remain the same in first, second, and third. Like eat will become, it's an irregular verb, so eat will become ate. The third form is not ated, ate, eaten. So eat, ate, eaten. Freeze, froze, frozen. These are irregular verbs. Regular, same. Walk. Second one, walked with an ed. Past perfect, walked. The same with an ed. So basically, the regular verbs do not change. They remain the same with ed in second and third form, whereas the irregular verbs completely change, but sometimes they don't. Like for example, we can say these are some word which we don't change it at all. Like eat, ate, eaten, we change it. Break, broke, broken. Freeze, froze, frozen, we can change. But then when it comes to another word, which like for example hold past tense is held. It's an irregular verb. We don't do helded or helden, nothing like that. It remains the same. So these are some another words that we make sure. And then we add a word had. So as you can see here, we add the word had, we write the third form, and then the action. What happened? The patient had died before the doctor arrived. Had died. It was already past perfect. Okay, so this is the way you can do. Then we have direct and indirect speeches. This is a type of a new grammar that we have. So basically direct and indirect passages is nothing but it is like to convert it in an indirect speech, a speech which is said actively. Like right now I'm talking to you, this is an active speech. So I'm saying I am going to London. This is an active speech, a direct speech. I'm speaking to you directly. It's a conversation between two people. You are the second person, I am the first person. So I would say I am going to London. But when you heard my conversation as a second person and you inform about my conversation to the third person, you inform my conversation to the third person, like to your parents. So you would say, the sir said that he would go to London. The sentence changes. You will not go to your parents and say, I am going to London. Sir said, wrong. You will say, the sir said that he would be going to London, or the sir said that he'll go to London. So you say it in a third form, right? So third form, okay, so how you would explain it is the way how you are going to be based on what I say. The invigilator said to the students, stop writing. Converted to indirect speech. The invigilator ordered the students to stop writing. So I will ask you the question as a second, third person. Like for example, Raju, what happened? What did the invigilator say in the class? I heard him saying something right now. Then you're going to tell me, oh yeah, the invigilator said, or the invigilator ordered the students to stop writing. So you're just telling me in an indirect way what he had said. The person who speaks actively is called a direct speech, and the person who's telling you what was the real speech is called an indirect speech in a complete sentence. So this is the way you can solve these questions. Answer at the back of the pages, so you can also write there. Letters write is nothing but you're narrating a story, which is essay writing. Make sure you keep some nice points, like you divide the paragraphs in introduction, body, conclusion. Make sure it is all written inside 100 words. Proper use of grammar. Make sure your story context is there. In the beginning, you're making sure that you're writing the story start, what is it? Body, you're explaining important points, and finally conclusion, what happened in the end of your story. That is the important things I can feel that you need to go through. You can go through the terminal questions to be thorough of the story, because I know the story is going to come in literature. So you guys can easily get your marks in here also. And these are the only important points. Thank you very much and wait for the next video.